Quatanah, with just for us, I know that you're specializing in that natural skincare product. Can you give me more of an understanding about how skincare became a gateway for a healthcare journey for you?
So for me, I would say because when I was about 13 or 14, I was diagnosed with eczema. Just out of the blue, where did it come from? Just rashes popping up everywhere, really, really itchy. I'm scratching until I'm bleeding. Like my teacher used to pop me, hey, stop scratching. Like it was really that bad. Um, Leave it alone. Okay. It was really that bad to the point where I would always wear long sleeve. It could be hot. I'm going to have on a jacket because it came in my creases. So I'm always going to make sure my creases are covered because I'm embarrassed. I don't want people to see it. And throughout the years, I kept getting prescribed different medications, different things, different topicals to put on top. It would help sometimes, and then sometimes it wouldn't, or it may clear up the itching, but the discoloration is still there, and it's just really, really bad. So then from there, as I got older, I was diagnosed with PCOS, with this polycystic ovarian syndrome, where I get a lot of little cysts on my ovaries, and in turn with that, some of the effects are hairyism. So where you get hair in areas that typically men get them. So I had get facial hairs and very painful menstruations, long, 7 days long, very heavy bleeding, like really, really bad. And with that, I realized it was in what I was eating. It was the foods that I was eating that was causing all these different problems. Even got diagnosed with a hernia, and it was the food. So then I switched, and I found out that dairy was I love dairy. I love cheese. I love
The goodness.
yes. I love dairy and PCOS don't love each other. So when I didn't go cold turkey, but I did switch up some things. So I switched from whole milk and I started drinking almond milk and started doing organic cheese. I cut out cheddar. So I do like provolone or Swiss or pepper jack. And I cut out red meats for a while and I did just fish and chicken only. My hernia went away, my face started clearing up, my skin started clearing up, the cysts went away. I had surgery scheduled for the hernia and for the cysts. Both were canceled because it cleared up. It was what I was eating. I got pregnant after that. Before I was told I would have to go to get IVF, but I literally changed what went into my body and it changed my outer. It helped with the skin. But in with doing that, I also created my products.
Right.
I wanted to use all natural products because I saw that when I switched to eating and went to some more healthier, natural things, what happened inside of me. So it's an inside job, but it's an outside job as well. So that's where it all kind of just formed together.
You know, you said that perfectly, right? Because what I was going to ask you next was that because PCOS and eczema are often reflected as like an internal thing, right? How have you seen even the more that with just for us, how have you seen like the educational piece on the hormonal effects or maybe like inflammation and like again like the mind body connection? Because like you were saying, we love cheese, we love dairy, we love a little steak, potato, broccoli with a cheddar on top, right? So obviously there were a lot of things that the mind wanted you to be like, this is good. I'm slim. I'm not overweight. I'm not obese. So I should be okay. But then the body was giving off these reactions to say, hey, there's a disconnect here. So how did you find, or like, what was some of the strategies that you started to implement to take more control over the situation versus just saying, well, even though I'm having this experience, I'm fine with the topical solutions, or I'm fine with the fact that they're just giving me some cream. Like, what did it really take within you to make the switch?
Honestly, I would say my confidence started to go down. Other people around me, they didn't know because I just felt I carried myself like, oh, I know I'm hurt. I'm always going to be hurt. But on the inside, it was like, I know they looking at my face. I know they could see this hair. Like I can't turn to the side. I'm not taking side pictures anymore. Like I even noticed, oh, I don't take as many pictures anymore. I'm not in the camera as much anymore. And it was because I didn't feel it. Like I knew T-Zone had it. And it was like here was where my confidence, I struggled with it. So I kind of just went into like a shell zone. And I wanted to come back out my shell. I got a baby now and she is
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, I used to be thank you. I'm gonna make sure you keep that and I'm gonna get back to that too. So that's I think what really even made me come back to it and made me want to go even harder with it.
You know, that's so powerful because what you're really saying too is that sometimes we don't have the strength within ourselves to make the decision, right? Like if it was up to me, I go get me some steak and lobster right now.
And I still, I still dip in the devil sometimes, but I do notice, like my husband made some burgers the other night. Oh, they were so good. And then instantly after that, my stomach, like I felt, and I was like, okay, yeah, it's not. I haven't been eating this like this. I've been drinking that watermelon juice from y'all. Shout out to y'all. And I was like, I'm doing the clean with the watermelon juice, but I'm following up with this. And my stomach did not agree.
Come on.
At all. So it's like, if you're going to have one foot in, one foot out, be prepared for the effects. Yeah.
Whew, girl, you literally have led us into our next question that we're going to be talking about, which is, can you explain to the audience what does intentionality mean in an oversaturated wellness market? Because a lot of girls have PCOS, a lot of girls have endometriosis, and it's saddening to say, right? So we're not advocating to say just because you have this, be okay with it. We're really saying the fact that you have it, there has to be some level of intentionality. So what does intentionality mean for you, and how does just for us empower people to be more intentional with their health journey?
Okay, so I would say to start off, you have to have that commitment because if you don't have the commitment, you're really not going to even see the results, and that's what make you fall back into your old habits because you're like, it's not really doing anything. But if you really sit down and say, this is what I want for myself, I know this is what I want. It's not for anyone else. When you want it for yourself, you're going to be committed to make the changes and not just listen to what the doctors tell you. I had one doctor tell me, a woman shave my face with a man razor. Baby, if I do that, in spots that is not hair, it's going to pop up. Like, why would I do that? That's not the answer. I knew it was another answer. So it's just, I had to educate myself. I had to go and figure out, I had to see what symptoms do I have? Because you're not going to have all the symptoms. Some people may read it and then they think, oh, I have this. No, you go and see what symptoms you have, and then you educate yourself on that, on what foods cause inflammation, so you would know what foods to stay away from. I made a switch from white rice to brown rice, and I even noticed when I cleaned the brown rice, you even notice the difference, like, whoa, white rice is 10 times dirtier than brown rice.
Yes.
If brown rice is softer, it digests better. My stomach, I'm not feeling bloated or stuffed after. I'm fine to be able to keep going. So I've noticed those type of things. So even though I love a good steak, I used to eat steak once or twice a week. I maybe do me a steak maybe like once a month, and then if I do it that way, I might cut it up and put it on a salad. I just try to be mindful because I know where I was, where I could be, where I want to be. And so I just have to keep that at the forefront. You know it's possible. But you have to be committed. You have to do the work. You can't just put something on and it's going to work, because at the time that cream might stop working. Your body not got used to it, so it's not doing what it used to do. So what's next? You're gonna move to the next cream and the next cream and the next cream, or the next pill or the next pill or the next pill, when it's things that are all around you that you can utilize. I started utilizing spearmint because that helps with the hair. So it's just different things that we already have that you don't have to taint. You may have to mix it with something else, but you don't have to always add all the extra chemicals and all that extra things to it. You don't have to do that.
Yeah. Heavy on what you're saying about not tainting, right? Sometimes it's a hard truth for us to know that sometimes we taint ourselves, right? And the tainting could look like following old eating habits that our parents put us on, right? It could be, like you said, listening to a doctor who said, oh, just slap that cream on or just shave, tainting yourself, right? And you said something too that I want to dive in on, which is, you said, they know it's possible. But I want to tell you that this podcast episode, you're going to free thousands of women who don't think that it's possible to be cured naturally. Because again, society is saying PCOS and endometriosis is just something that you have and there's no getting rid of it unless you get like a hysterectomy.
Yeah.
Right?
You can switch your pad. I switched pads. I switched to Love, the organic. And I feel the difference. My cramps aren't as bad at the switches to those. So it's simple
the chemicals and the toxins.
And actually last week when it was on, I had a always, because that's all that was left at the time.
Mm-hmm.
It was one in there, but it was mixed in with my Loves. I didn't even notice. I pulled it, put it on, and I was cramping so. I was like, I just feel the words. Da, 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 da. I'm like, and when I know, I was like, you know what? I got one of these. I'm not even supposed to have this guy in my stash. So I was like, okay, and I see the difference once again. So it's what's around. You gotta change.
Very much so. You gotta change what's around you, right? And so with countless brands claiming to be natural and purposeful, what practices and differences is just for us making? Like, what is the approach to your product development, and how can this level of intentionality be authentically communicated to customers?
Well, I would say because I'm making it, so I know what's in it. I can tell you everything that's in it. You can look up everything that's in it. You probably have a lot of those products already lying around your house, really.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really simple. You really can do it yourself. Now, if it's going to necessarily come out how mine is,
probably not. That's why we just buy.
But you can do it yourself though. But it's just, again, you have to put that work in, that commitment in. That's why I started it. I knew everything else I was putting on was drinking my skin. Mm-hmm. Like my skin was drinking it. It wasn't doing anything at all. So I was like, okay, I need something like for real. I actually need something for me that's actually going to work. That's not going to cause a reaction to the eczema. That's not going to make me start itching again. It's not. But I need something that's going to still be calming and soothing. But I want to shine.
Yeah. And it's, you let it perfect. I'm talking, girl, you. Come on, it's to be expected as a Business Confidence Academy member, right? Like it's to be expected. What you said then too is that wanting to shine, right? I believe knowing you personally and professionally as well, that is a way that you shine. Is from your intentionality, right? You're not just another girl saying, another queen saying, I'm just going to make a product because I want to make money off of it, right? Like your level of intentionality truly comes from, like you said, you saw that you had this problem. And again, instead of you just saying, I'm just going to try to put this on my skin and hope to see a difference, you saw, if I even change these other things about myself, that inevitably will be an energy that can be transformed in a product. So again, we were talking about, again, your products, you're not coming from, I'm selling this just to make money, or in Target and Walmart, we need to see more Black companies. That's cool, but your positioning is very much so, this is how my skin used to be, this is how she's feeling right now.
I'm the dress and stuff. I'm able to show it and stuff more because it's like, okay, yeah. It's hot out there too. We're gonna be. And you have your times when it acts up and where it tries to act up, and that's when I just, okay, let me just make sure I moisturize myself. So even my water, I like a hot shower. You need to switch it kind of to cold right before you get out. So when you get out, your body can lock in that moisture. Yeah. So
yeah, that's girl. We got to share some skin tip routines.
It's little baby things, it's little things that make a difference that you really don't notice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Can you tell the audience about, because I remember we spoke about this a few months ago back in the Business Confidence Academy. I want to say maybe just around May or June. Can you tell the audience about how you were finding within yourself that your products, and just for us, of course it's for us, but it more so is a product that a person can purchase for a personal journey. So can you tell the audience about the times where you were noticing that when you stopped being on your skincare routine, when you stopped being on your self-love routine, when you were, of course, being a great wife, a great mom, a great employee, a great business owner, when you were going through all those things, but you were falling short on your self-care journey, how did that affect you mentally?
Okay.
And how did you get back right?
Okay. So I will say, because I stopped doing Just for Us when I got pregnant. It was high risk. I was bed rest at 6 weeks. It was real bad. 80 pounds, it was real bad. So I physically couldn't. So I stopped.
Was that associated to the PCOS?
Yes. I will say I think so, because it was just like I couldn't keep anything down. Like, I went down to 80 pounds. I'm already small, but I went down to 80 pounds already after them telling me, well, you're going to need IVF to get pregnant. Then I get pregnant, and then right after that, it's like, oh, you're sick. I couldn't, nothing would stay down, nothing. And I'm just going down, down, down. I had to have an at-home nurse come to the house every week. I had a pack on, and it was like, that's supposed to be a moment where you feel. And I felt so, I don't really have many pictures pregnant, because at one point I felt so ugly. I felt like I was dying. I felt like I was just going away. I was miserable. I was depressed. I was unsheltered at some point. I mean, we were living with my in-laws, but we weren't in our own space anymore. So I was out of my element, uncomfortable, wasn't taking pictures, wasn't getting out the bed. I'm sleeping all day. And once I did get everything together and then got back to myself, and she's here now, and we're back in our own space and we're good. But it's still like I'm not back to myself all the way, because I'm working from home, been working from home for 2020. So at this point, sometimes I'm not even washing my face. I'm getting up, I'm brushing my teeth, and I'm clocking in and I'm working. I'm not changing clothes. I'm not out in my pajamas. I didn't moisturize. I didn't do anything. I got up, brushed my teeth, clocked in, worked.
And you were finding that that was like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Wow.
And some days I'm not even leaving out the house. My husband will be like, you haven't been in this house all week. Go up to the mailbox. And I'm like, oh, dang. I didn't leave out the house at all, did I? And I was like, am I? It was like, I'm telling myself, no, I'm not depressed. I'm still good because I'm functioning. But then I am noticing no, because then when you get off, you do what you need to do. But once you do what you need to do pertaining to the house, the baby, your husband, you just sitting there watching TV. You just sitting there. So I actually got back into therapy, because I was in therapy before I got pregnant.
Okay.
Yeah, so I actually got back into weekly therapy, and then I got into a class called Healing Your Inner Child.
Everything you needed.
It was a 6-week class, and it blessed my whole life. Oh Lord, that class blessed my whole life, and I'm proud to tell people, you better go there, better go there, better go there. I go once a week. I will let you know, because it's nothing wrong with it, and it made me feel so good. I was able to address issues that I didn't even know were issues that I was still holding on to, coming into where I am now. Right. I was really able to release. Like, I really was able to release. And once I did that, like for real this time, I was like, okay, I felt so much lighter. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm about to start. You look good. You gotta tell yourself that every day, all day, so you can start seeing it again. And me actually starting to believe it. Because my husband tell me all the time, and I just like, you gotta tell me that because you're my husband. But if somebody in my inbox tell me that it's look, I really don't care. Because I really don't care what y'all say. It's about how I feel about about myself, how I truly feel about myself. So started back, okay, bam. Oh, you know what? I moisturize every day this week. That's good. I've been feeling better. And if people tell me, you glowing, you looking good. I'm like, dang, you know what? I have been feeling better. I have been feeling back to myself. I started back making my products. I just was making them and I just was using them.
Right.
But I wasn't putting myself back out there again. So I'm like, you know what? I might just go ahead and put myself back out there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I love that. I want to piggyback off of something you said right there, in reference to sometimes when we, like you said, hear compliments from people outside of ourselves, it's always so much harder to actually accept the compliments when we're not feeling that way for real about ourselves. So then that's when it turns into like a, y'all saying that and that's cool.
Like,
you right.
Like, whatever. But no, and
Yeah,
therapy
you
helped me
feeling
accept
good.
that. Somebody tell you you are so great, you are doing good. Don't question. Thank you. Don't question it because I'd be like, oh, you first? No, yeah, girl, you know you are. So why do you second guess? It's a mind thing. Once you change your mindset, it takes 21 days for it to happen.
Yeah.
Once you change your mindset, and it's what you speak to yourself, even when that negative thought tries to creep up in the back, you gotta shut it back down.
Yeah.
And say something positive and actually get rid of it. And then that voice is going to get lower and lower and lower and lower and lower. Then it's going to go away. But you're going to see the progression in your life and the things kind of change once you just realize how you speak, how you treat other people. Give grace, but don't be no dummy. Forgive, but you don't always have to reconnect. Forgiveness does not always mean that I have to allow you back into my space. Forgiveness just means I'm not harboring any hate or ill feelings towards you.
Yeah.
I'm meeting you where you are, and I can realize that we are on two different paths, and I don't hate you, but I don't need you in my space. So it's a lot of different things that are just, once you get all that about you, once you really get it about you, it starts to show for real.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gaining a couple pounds and stuff. You know, I'm trying to.
In the right places.
Yeah. That breastfeeding together. It wasn't already there. So yeah. I'm just. It's a mind thing.
It's a mind thing.
It's a mind thing.
Tell them about the mind thing in reference to, you said when you were going on your journey, right? We were getting these outside compliments. You started working on yourself. You started doing just small things, right? So we were able to then accept more of the compliments versus seeing that as possible outside validation. Can you tell the women and the men, can you tell them about your speaking to the positive apple and speaking to the negative apple experience? And before you tell them, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because, let's be real, it's safe to say that if you had not started doing some of the small intangible things, like again, washing your face again, creating some type of routine, right? And like you said, releasing the old version of yourself. Even if you hadn't started doing some of the tangible, you could tell yourself all the time, you the girl, you the girl, you the girl, but we would never be able to see the true reflection in it if you hadn't been doing the tangible. So talk to them about how you implemented the tangible with the apples.
Okay, and I got that from therapy. Shout out to my therapist, Black lady. Ew. So it's when you have, you take one apple, you cut it in half. Yeah, like a little picture.
Yeah.
But you take one apple, you cut it in half, and you separate it. One apple, you just speak positive affirmations. You just talk to it positive. You love it. You give it love. The other half, you talk negative to it, bad. Just you talk bad to it, but you keep them separate. And after 21 days, you will see the effect of speaking positive to yourself, speaking negative to yourself and to other people. Because sometimes you may say things to people and you feel like it's not big, but they are really holding that in. And it was just a beautiful experience. It was so crazy because my husband was like, I feel so bad. I can't keep talking bad to that apple. Like,
I remember when I came,
he was like, I know it's the apple, but that y'all don't feel right. That y'all don't make me feel good after that. He really did not. And I was like, but this is the process. And you saw how it molded and it just transformed.
It really did transform for sure. Like, it transformed. That apple was ugly.
I wonder, you think they can see it? Because that was after the 21 days. And you can see
the difference for sure in those apples.
It was hard. Like it was, and it was times where we actually forgot to say something to it, and then you could still see like
The back was going
like,
bad.
oh, man, like look at that.
It's like big moldy, and the
Yes.
other one is. I mean, it has a little bit of up because it's open.
Right, and it's that one. It's really just right there. The rest of that looks fine.
Yep.
This whole apple is the
Bad.
whole thing, and I left a piece of word. It said envy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know why that was on the apple. I don't know if that was the brand. I don't know.
Yes,
but
envy apples.
Okay, ma'am, it said envy. I left that on the bag. And I was like, yeah, you are envious because you look like this. And I was like, how y'all the same apple and you turning and molding and that was still look good and see comparison.
Yes.
You're not supposed to compare. So that was and I even played I played music too. Cause I'm not that evil too. I could just do all of that too. But I did understand that I had a purpose. It was a purpose behind it.
Yeah.
So I did what I had to do. But so all that rah, some of that time, so them beats and all of that you put in, that vibrate, all of that, yeah.
All that went into the apple.
Cause and it's like, I like my love, here and there, but I even calm what I listen to down. I was like, I need to calm my spirit down. Like I'm just no, it don't have to be all gospel and love and church and all that, but some of the is not as I still listen to like my old, Gucci Man, like my old stuff, but some of that newer stuff I really can't get with.
Yeah.
Word and some of them words. I know people like to say it's just word, but no, like some of them words you be putting in that they be saying all of that, I can't
get with it.
I can't sing that into I can't speak that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to watch even with the jokes, because I like to make jokes. So I say little stuff. So I even kind of watch how I joke and stuff, because it's certain things I don't want to put into the atmosphere.
For sure. Before we talk more about the products, I want to ask one more question in this realm. So would you say that it's safe to say that even though you had just heard about the Apple concept in therapy, right, that simple practice helped you be more aware of some of the thoughts that you were thinking in your own head about yourself, and then the fact that you had to intentionally say negative things, it possibly was easier to pull those negative things that you would say about yourself, say them to the apple, and then once you started seeing how the apple was forming from those same thoughts that maybe you would have felt about yourself, when you saw the apple was forming bad, would you say that it's safe to say that you then even the more started to tighten up on your own value, your own worth, your own confidence, because you saw, if I feel this type of way about myself, and I'm saying this to that apple, and the apple turning out like this must be affecting me internally. Did you think those thoughts at some point?
Honestly, because I had already did the work and how I was feeling when I was saying those things to the apples, because I did think, I was like, dang, is this how you feel about yourself? But I was like, no, I honestly don't feel like that.
That's good.
So it was literally just, I'm doing this project. So when I did talk to the bad apple, I just like talked to it.
Mm-hmm.
When I talked to the good apple, I held it up in the mirror and I talked to it.
So you were using more of the positive side to level up versus
build that back into me, because it was like I didn't feel that way about me, but saying that, was it making my mind, was it trying to send me back to that place? And it's like, no, because I do still have that faint voice up back there, and it'd be like, no, yeah, you're right, that's why it's happening, because you just did it. And I'd be like, yeah, no, nope, it's just a test, it's just a lesson to be learned, it's something from this. So now when bad things or when plans don't go my way, because I'm a planner, I like to have a ABCDEF. I like to have a plan for my plan. I feel like I have to know.
Yeah.
When I let go the need to have to know, to have to direct and control and make sure I have my hand on it, when I just let it be, when I'm saying I know it's going to work out, I'm believing that it's going to work out, I'm actually having the faith that it's going to work out, I'm still doing the work, because you have to do your part.
Come on.
So I'm still doing the work, but I'm actually believing that it's going to work out. So it's working out.
It's literally working out. So as we're summarizing this episode, it's safe to say that, I mean, girl, you healed inner child work, literally started that natural, you've been starting, continuously growing. Come on now, rediscovering, right, parts of yourself from within. And so let the audience know, where are you right now in reference to the products that you serve, and what can they start to be on the lookout for?
Okay, so currently, we have our body butter love.
Come on.
So that is still here, as well as our body scrub. That duo is not going anywhere. It's what started it all. It's what started it all. But also, I did have my hair oil and hair mist, and if you guys see,
remember,
7 years,
your locks were
I'm
this big.
7 years in.
Yes.
And yes, it's genetics because I've never been bald head. No offense, she's bald head by choice. Because she used to use the oil too.
Yeah.
But it's a combination of using it. Because I even noticed when I stopped using the oil, I was telling my husband, I said, you know what, my hair don't seem like it's growing as much as it was as to when I was actually oiling I even stopped oiling my I just my bonnet all didn't work. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I gotta get back into that. And then I'm like, yeah, so hair oil, my hair mist is still here, but some shampoos and conditioners is going to be on the way because I need to feel the cleanliness of my hair. Sometimes you wash your hair and it feel good while you're getting your hair washed. And then after, it's like, my hair not clean for real. So aside from the body butter and body scrub, I'm going to keep those two, but I think I'm venturing off to now focusing on the hair because I see a lot of people are switching over to the locks, lock life, and I love it. That's commitment.
Yes.
You have to be committed.
I'm not.
It's a process, but the process is beautiful.
Yes, it is. Yes,
it is. So I'm going to help the people that want to get committed so they can,
Yeah. Speaking of commitments, as we wrap up this episode, we know for sure that your natural products are not just for women with PCOS, right? They're not just for women with endometriosis and eczema, but for those women in particular, because we know that that's a hard truth for them to accept within themselves. If you can give the queens one piece of advice from your perspective, and we're talking about like well-rounded perspective overall, business, professional, confidence, the commitment piece of it, like we're talking about, if you can give a queen any piece of advice that you know will help her move forward in her living out her dreams in a confident way, since obviously we are on the Creating Your Dream Business podcast, what advice would you give her? What should she do differently?
To be honest, because I feel like my journey would have been completely different had I been more vocal. I didn't tell my mama what I was going through with my menstruations, getting periods 2 times a month. You're not supposed to get that.
Right.
My mama not even thinking or questioning it. She just know we gotta get pads. Right. And that's fine with her. She gotta get that. You ain't missing no period.
Right.
I'm getting too many periods. My period's too long.
You ain't missing.
Right. It's too painful. I hate the fact that this was coming in. Like my mama didn't know that, but it started coming in here first, and I was just keep my neck down. Like nobody didn't notice it. Like I try to pick it at a little stuff like that. So it was like, had I just say, Mama, I don't know what's going on, but I got this and the third, and I just thought, oh, I'm just real hairy, cause my daddy hairy. But it was like, no, that's what it was. Like that's what it was the whole time. But had I been vocal about what I'm going through, what I'm feeling, like, no, this not, something ain't right, but I was embarrassed. So I didn't say it. I was embarrassed, so I didn't say it. So don't be embarrassed. You gotta speak out. You gotta fight for yourself. Fight for yourself. Even if you feel like somebody else is fighting for you, because it might seem like, oh yeah, well, they trying to help me. No, you always fight for yourself. That's professional, personal. You have to fight for yourself. So if you telling me one thing and I'm not agreeing and I feel like, no, this is not what it is. Okay, so can you document that you are denying this, that, and the third? Because that's why I have an insurance where I don't have to get a referral from my PCP. I can go see a specialist on my own. Right. I pay a little extra for that, but I can go see a specialist on my own. My PCP doesn't have to recommend that they don't need a referral.
I see what you're
So
saying.
it's, you have to fight for yourself. You literally have to be vocal. If it's not right, if it don't feel right, if it don't feel right, be vocal about it.
Yeah.
And if you feel like you want to talk to one doctor or one person and they're not really hearing you for real, leave them. I don't live for the. I told my husband, we're gonna go into this appointment. This doctor gonna say, "Hi, Quatanah, how you doing?" It's gonna blah, 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 blah. I'm gonna tell him what's going on, and he gonna say, "Well, we gonna try this," because he used me as a test dummy. We went into that office. That visit went exactly how I told him it was gonna go, and I left that doctor.
Yeah.
I left that doctor, went to a new doctor, and you found that's when you discovered all the cysts. Oh, you got PCOS. Oh, you ain't pregnant because it is, and because it is, and because it is. Okay, well, we gonna try to do this. She helped me.
Right. But if you had not been vocal and spoke up about yourself to your husband, all of these different examples of being vocal possibly would have still been back there. It's like insanity, expecting a different result, expecting for the PCOS, expecting for non-heavy periods, expecting for the hair, expecting for all that to go away, but you never spoke up to yourself.
You see her crying like, "Good, we trying to have a baby. He done get over here. What's going on? What's wrong with me? He done got checked. It must be me." It was, but it wasn't.
Right.
It was me, and it was all of what I was putting into my body.
Yeah.
It was all of that, because she came when she came. She took me through it, but I had to do it again.
Exactly. And now you're so much more developed, so much more mature, so much more established. And literally now we have this skincare line where people love it all over the globe, literally. So let the audience know where they can connect with you at.
Oh, so blooper, because I don't LinkedIn.
LinkedIn?
I don't know how to.
They can have today.
Yep. Ooh, and that's another one, because I didn't even used to go by Quatanah. But that was a healing process. I hated my name because my dad came through me and we had no problems. But you see, she introduced me as Quatanah. I got a Q on my neck, so I'm embracing.
Tell them what Quatanah means.
Small gift. I'm a small gift, God. Of course I am. You know, I'm a small gift.
Yeah.
That's just what it is.
Yeah.
So I'm embracing that. That's new.
Yeah.
Because my teachers didn't even call me Quatanah. I was Q, Alicia, Miss Smith. I was whatever. But yes, justforus20.com. The website is under maintenance right now, but it will be back up very, very soon. So if you're interested in purchasing and the website is still in maintenance mode, you can go to Instagram at justforus20 and you can message me there. You can go to LinkedIn and find Quatanah Reeves. That's Quatanah Reeves, Reeves. And you can message me there. We can get something set up. Facebook, there's a Just For Us 20 on Facebook as well. So the website will be back up and running very, very, very soon. But just type that in. You can even go on Google. Google will direct you to the Instagram too.
Yes. Thank you so much for this chat today. It was so amazing. Thank you, audience, for tuning in. And this episode on the Create and Grow Your Dream Business Live was so powerful. I already know it's going to get so many views. So thank you, Quatanah, for coming on here with us today. And we look forward to seeing you back soon.
Yes, thank you, Miss. Thanks for all Mrs. Thanks for all that you do. Thanks.
Beth, until next time, ladies. See you later. It's fun to hear that. Told you.